Welcome back to Families in Action right here on KHTS AM 1220, your hometown station, with your host, Cary Quashen. And Cary, you and I are sitting here with some fine people, Spencer, Alex, and Thomas.
Some great people, and my staff, too.
And your staff, they're watching you do your thing.
You know what's awesome is you saw that I read you the thing I got today about someone that lost his life. I mean, I get those almost daily. For some reason. But this is why we do what we do, isn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are over at the adolescent house. Isn't that cool?
It's awesome.
I mean, it really, really is. And we're going to talk to Thomas, which is one of the youngsters, and hopefully all this is we're going to stay sober forever, huh? Yeah. But let's go with Spencer. How did I meet Spencer? I met Spencer. He was on another show that's not out yet. It's called Codependency, so you'll be able to watch it, but there was a major intervention. And here he is. I'm going to hand it to you. Spencer, tell us your story. I know you were walking down the street when you were 6. You looked up into the sky, and a bong fell into your hands and said, "Smoke me."
Just magically.
Exactly. That's what happened.
That's how
right?
it all started for me.
Yeah, so fill us in.
Well, do you want me to just give you kind of where it started in the past, like what led up to the show, maybe?
That'll work.
Okay. Well, I was homeless in Orange County, running the streets, living out of laundry rooms and alleyways, and doing a lot of heroin and meth. Living with my girlfriend at the time, ex-girlfriend, I should say. And we were just miserable. And to be completely honest, I was on Craigslist scamming people for money. And I came across an ad that was asking if anyone was interested in possibly, filming in order to get free treatment.
Right.
Now, I have no insurance. Other than my grandmother and my brother, whom are completely out of my life, I have, no finances to get into treatment anymore, and I've burned all the county beds, et cetera, et cetera.
You did the rehab hopping.
Oh, Between my awesome jail stints and rehab, I've basically burned out all my county funding. So I was hopeless, and luckily, I was blessed enough to get the opportunity to get what I got. At the time, I didn't see it as an offer from God. I just saw it more as I got lucky kind of thing. So I got picked up on some warrants, got out, and the TV show called me that day. Same day I got out, just by chance. And for about 2 months, it was just a process of being homeless, doing interviews over the phone. A miracle, really a miracle for me. And then putting my entire life on camera, which was very uncomfortable.
Which you'll all be able to watch on TLC in March.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I didn't even know.
Yeah.
I'm still learning everything that's going to happen with me. I honestly, looking back at it, I might not have taken well, of course I wouldn't have taken it if I was sober, but with the mindset I have now, it's a little uncomfortable to think that it's going to be out there like that. But
it's going to be out there.
But at the same time, it was a huge opportunity for me because it's brought me to where I am now, which is at with action right now, and it's changed my life. I mean,
you've been in a lot of rehabs. You've been locked up in jail. What's different about? I was going to say about action, but forget action. What's different this time?
I had no push from anybody telling me to do this. I had nobody telling me this is what you've got to do if you want to come back home, blah, blah, blah. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted of the lifestyle. It's not just the drugs and alcohol. Those obviously were killing me.
It's waking up in the morning, the first thought is what am I going to do to get my dope today?
Yep. And that's the consistent thought you have until the moment that you finally go out. Mm-hmm. It's not living. You're existing to die is really what it is.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And I'll tell you what, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. It is impossible to be that kind of a drug addict and really be happy.
No, yeah,
you could fake it, but when you lay down at night and you think about where your life is and the dope that you're shooting and the scams that you got to do and the misery and loneliness, you can't be happy.
No, you're spiritually bankrupt.
How come people stay in that life then? What is it that keeps you there when you're so sick and tired of it?
It's it's comfortable. And then at that moment, don't get me wrong, it's absolutely miserable. It's not comfortable at all, really.
Right.
But you have built this vicious cycle that you're constantly feeding. I'll lay my head just about anywhere if I know that, this money could go to a hotel room or it could go to drugs. I'm going to get drugs, not because I like living on the streets. It's because I'm trying to feed a hunger that I have. If you lock someone in a room long enough and don't feed them, they're going to get hungry. It's the same concept, really. I don't know. That's what has kept me going and doing what I was doing and brought me to the point that I was at, being homeless. I never thought I'd be at that point.
You cut your girlfriend loose. Why?
Oh, she took off after 5 days.
So here's the way the show works. They do an intervention on two people, couples. And they go to different rehabs. So she went to a different rehab, and she took off.
Yep.
But you're so serious about your sobriety that you said, okay, then I'm done.
That would be the other thing. If you ask me what would be different this time other than before, I actually had 2 years of sobriety. That's how I met her. My sobriety is no longer about anybody else. Good. It's myself now. I want my life, and I want the peace of mind. I want to be a good person. I want to be productive. I want to do fun things. I mean, there's, and I know that that's a possibility for me.
You're 23, right?
Yeah.
I got sober at 25. And here's what I had: nothing. I had a lowrider car, a mattress on the floor, a German Shepherd, and a gun. And the reason I say gun, because it was in my mouth for quite a while. And now look. So don't short sell yourselves. You guys at your age can do anything you want to do still, and be anywhere you want to be, and be as happy as you want to be. Or you could be some junkie laying in the street, or one of those numbers of 47,000.
Yeah.
So it's a choice, and the only thing that could screw this up is you saying, I can play with a little bit of pot. I can drink a little bit of booze and start that whole process again. So if you don't drink and you don't use drugs, your life will get better. That doesn't mean it's going to be perfect. Trust me, mine's not. I have heartaches and headaches all over the place, but I wouldn't change it for anything. Make sense? So you just got to hang through it no matter what.
Spencer, what are you planning on doing to stay sober for New Year's Eve?
Staying sober New Year's Eve, doing what I'm doing today, which is just following simple direction of another person, asking God to guide me throughout my day. That's the vague answer. I could be specific and say that I'm going to stay inside with people that are sober and just hang out with people that are like-minded, not go hang out with people that are trying to party. And it's not really a party. And maybe they have fun. I don't have fun how they have fun. The party doesn't stop for me with a couple drinks at night and some fireworks. It stops a couple months down the road in the gutter. So
when you wake up and don't know where you are.
Yeah.
Spencer, what would you, and Alex, same thing for you, what would you say to somebody out there that's listening to tell them?
I would say to them to... I could say it simply and say go to a meeting and start getting connected with people, because there's plenty of way better things to do on New Year's sober with people in the program. That's my opinion. I think that I would have had more fun sober on New Year's. Yeah.
Remember, all drug abuse starts innocently and turns into the gutter, tragic, and all kinds of stuff. On that note, hey, we got Thomas here too.
Yeah.
Thomas, you're also in action right now, but you're in a different spot. They're in the adult action, and you're in the adolescent ranch. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got there and all that stuff. Boy, if he gets sober at 17, isn't that going to be awesome?
Oh yeah.
Well,
he could rule the world, huh?
Like how I started and
yeah.
What do you mean?
Just what you were doing. How come you ended up in action and your plans and that stuff?
Well, at first I started off in juvenile hall.
Because you were doing great?
Oh, I wish. No, but I was high on meth, and I got caught for robbery and identity theft.
Right.
So
where's my wallet? I'm just playing.
But I had an option for either a 6-month program or a rehab, and I really wanted to go to rehab because I felt like, you know.
Oh, you're the one. We were working on you for quite a while.
For real?
We had to go with lawyers and judges and all kinds to get you out of juvenile hall.
Yeah.
I remember now. Okay.
Because I've been in and out of juvenile hall for like since I was 13, because that's when I started smoking meth.
Right.
But you know, I ended up here at Action, and it's really doing good for me, you know, because going to meetings every day is just helping me out. Makes me seem like, or makes me feel like I can hang out with sober people without being locked up. Makes me feel good.
You can. So you were walking down the street, and that same bong fell into your hands and said, "Smoke me." What happened? How'd you start?
How did I start?
Yeah. Did you ever
Well,
think it would take you here?
No, not at all. Well, it just happened one day. I just did it, you know. I never shot it up or did anything but smoke it, snort it, and that was it.
That's all it takes, especially that meth. All these drugs, but meth is what I call is one of the worst drugs there are. Not that it's any better than heroin. They're all about the horrible, but it's a shortcut to the pleasure zone of your brain.
Yeah.
So as soon as you hit it, you get that feeling of whoa.
I feel great.
And you chase it. And,
Yeah.
And you chase it and you chase it and you can't find it, but it finds you.
Yeah, because you're not getting high, you're staying high.
Right.
And it's like a process.
Staying normal.
And you have to do anything to
What'd you lose besides your self dignity and respect and everything else?
close family relationships. Like, I lost a lot of good friends that were sober. They didn't want to hang out with me anymore
Why?
because they've seen how strung out I was. They were like, "Man, you're getting really skinny. Like, you look gross." Like, and I was like totally different person
Right.
after I started using too.
Who do
It's
you
not
live?
me.
Who do you live with?
I live with my mom and my sister.
She's been through a lot with you, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. My guess is you probably tormented her a lot.
Yeah. I feel bad now. Like, every time I would get sober, I'd feel bad. Like, I'd overthink it, but, you know.
That's what kept you high.
Yeah.
Oh my God, how did I do that? And then the only thing that's going to make you feel better is getting high. So if your mom was here, we'll pretend she's listening. She probably is. What do you want to say to her? What's her name?
My mom's name's Patty.
Hi, Patty. Go on, Mom, and say what you want to say.
Mom, I'm really sorry for doing everything that I was doing for the past 4 years. And I know you looked at me different, but I hope you can look at me in a new way now. I love you very much, and yeah, that's it.
It's not good to have silence on radio, but I want to have silence for a minute because I want you to think about that. And the other thing I want you to think about is you can blow it in half a second
Yeah.
when you leave, and the way everyone blows it the same way. They all do the same thing. They leave and figure I can hang out with my friends.
That was the way I was messing up all those times that I told myself I was going to get clean when I was getting locked up.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to hang out with different people, but then I'd go back and hang out with the same exact people.
You get lonely.
Yeah.
When you get lonely and miserable, what do? You go back to what you know.
Yeah.
And by the way, what you know is still doing what you did.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't change. And here's what happens. When we're young, we all have contracts.
Yeah.
When I grow up, I want to be a cop or a vet or a lawyer or whatever the deal is, right?
Mm-hmm.
A prize fighter,
Yeah.
whatever the deal is. We also have another set of contracts. When I grow up, here's what I don't ever want to do. And almost everybody is the same thing, drugs. I'm never going to use drugs. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to be like my dad or whatever the deal is, right? That's what I said because he was a drug addict. So here's what happens. We start hanging out with Tom and Joe. They're cool. They're smoking cigarettes. Hey, want one? No. Because we know cigarettes will kill us. But after hanging out for days and days and days, we start getting desensitized. Hey, want a cigarette? Okay, it's only a cigarette. We take a hit. So we broke our first contract. I'll never use drugs. Now they're starting to smoke dope. Want some? No, I'll never use drugs. It's not a drug. It's dope. It's marijuana. It's pot. It's grass. It's grown legal. It's pot. It's good for you. Crap. And we take our first hit. How do we clean that up? It's only pot. I won't use anything hard. And we mean it. So what happens? All the other drugs are drugs of opportunity. Our friends are still, someone's going to pick it up, someone's going to offer it, you're going to say no, you're going to be at a party, you're going to smoke a little weed, you're going to drink a little booze, and they're going to say, try it, dude, it won't hurt you just once. Just on Friday nights. And you're gonna get desensitized and believe, hey, I can do that. As long as I don't shoot heroin or use crystal meth, I'll be good. So what happens to everybody that leaves rehab, it's the same thing. You're in rehab, now you get all these contracts again. When you leave and you surround yourself with people that are doing what you're doing now, going to meetings, staying sober, having fun, you're going to go to meetings, stay sober, and have fun. Hang out with people that are using drugs, even if it's just a little bit of pot or drinking, eventually you're going to smoke pot and drink. And eventually it's going to bring you to what you love. And then eventually it's going to bring you to your knees if you're lucky.
And Cary, I'll never
Contracts.
forget how many times you've told me that you've had messages from families who have said that their son or their daughter got out of rehab. They graduated. Everything was going well. They were doing so well. They were on the right path. And they went to one party and they said, I think I'll just have one last hit. And boy, they didn't know it, but that was going to be it. I mean, they're dead. They're gone.
One last hit took you where? Back to the wash, back to pregnant, back to 8.5 months pregnant, strung out again. And remember this, all drug abuse really starts innocently. When you leave, if you start hanging out with people, you're going to convince yourself, I can smoke a little pot, it's only pot, I don't even like it. You can convince yourself, I can have a drink like everyone else. I didn't like alcohol.
You believe your own bullshit?
You believe your own stuff. You believe your own stuff, and it gets really bad. But the problem is once you fall into it again, how do you get out of it? Look at you. You were 8.5 months pregnant, shooting dog. You knew that your last baby was in intensive care unit for 2 months, and you were doing it again.
I didn't think there was going to be a way out.
Exactly. That's exactly.
I think that's what kept me sober this time, was that I was desperate enough to make sure that I didn't have to go through all those feelings and emotions again of what I went through with Bella, because I didn't want to lose him. I didn't want to put my family through that again.
So you are, though. The same thing happened, really, except for the baby's healthy.
Yeah.
And you got 1 billion people in your corner, but you still, how do you dealing with all these feelings this time different? I'll take this jacket off. I'm getting hot in here. Go on.
Willingness and acceptance. Willing to do whatever I have to do this time instead of mine, like what I want to do. I'm listening to everybody.
And I'll tell you what, I've known Alex for a long time, and she's been in rehab many times, and she never stays. She's doing everything different this time. If there was a picture perfect way to do treatment, she's doing it.
Thank you.
The only problem is you got to stay that way and never let yourself get fooled again, and keep those contracts within yourself, period. Wow. What do you want to say? Anybody want to say anything there? Spencer, you're with her every day. What do you got to say? You watch her.
Oh, yeah. No, she's like our mascot there.
Uh-oh.
No, it's really cool to see.
Hey, I like that.
Right?
The action mascot.
Poster child.
Yeah, the poster kid.
Yeah, it's good to see. It's someone, she was actually the first person I looked up to when I got there, because my mentality from streets and jail may have made my outlook on life very twisted, my perception of reality very twisted. She was one of the first people that I just remember certain things that she was saying that helped me remember, like that way of thinking, that way of living is not good. And it might sound small to some people, but that's a really big deal for me. So it was someone to look up to right away, someone to see that like they came from that background and it did not stop them from becoming the person that they are.
When I got sober and somebody walked in the place and said, I got 30 years sober, I went, get out of here. He uses in the bathroom. He's lying. I couldn't even imagine that.
Oh, yeah.
But when I walked in and somebody said, I have 7 days or 30 days or something, I went, whoa, how'd they do that? That was impressive. You know what I mean? Because that's where I was at. I couldn't figure it. A year? 10 years? 30? You're out of your mind. 7 days? Whoa. How'd they do that? What do you guys say? You guys, he's the youngster here. What do you have to say to Thomas?
Sounds like he's got a good mindset. He's 17. Wow, if I could have gotten it at 17 and I'm only 23. But like that span of time alone so much can happen that doesn't need to happen. I'm sure I'm sure you've had people tell you this, like they would love to be able to go back then and change everything, and the life that you could have would be beautiful. To not be an adult yet and to stop now and to totally turn things around. I can only speak from experience that way of living, especially doing the certain things that sounds like you were doing. I've had my own personal experiences with those things, and it's all those people that you think have your back and all those, all your buddies, they'll leave you hanging in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And
That's what my mom says.
Yeah. Just grab onto those people that you think are, I'm going to use a word, I'm going to say lame, because that's what I used to think when I was, oh, wow, why are they sober for so many years? They're dressed like a square. And
Hey, dude.
those are the people that are saving my life today. Those are the people I want to be like. Those are the people I look up to now, and those are the people that keep me going,
Yeah.
Hang out with the winners.
That's it. You hang out with winners, you become one. You hang out with losers,
All right.
you become one. On that note, Michael.
Well, on that note, we'll be back, Cary, with a little bit more. We're going to wrap up here on Families in Action. We'll be back. This is Families in Action on KHTS AM 1220, your hometown station.
Welcome back to Families in Action on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. I'm Cary Quashen, your host, and my co-host Michael Doherty is with me. And I'm getting all kinds of text messages here. And the reason is people wanted to call in, and we didn't give the number, and we don't really have the time. And I'm sorry for all you people that wanted to call in, but we're on a roll.
Oh, it's been a great show. We've got some wonderful people here, don't we?
Yeah, and I wanted you guys to really tell your story. I wanted people to feel what you're feeling. So I think you put it out there really good. It's hard not to. Spencer.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people in your corner.
Oh, absolutely.
What do you want to say to them? Be specific to who you want to say something to.
Well, specifically, I'd say to my grandmother that I love her and I apologize for everything that she's had to see me do. And I apologize for leaving so young and just taking off and running. And I love her, and I'm going to make her proud. To my little brother, that I am a changed person, and that I will be a good brother to you. And I want to feel like a suck-up saying this, but to you, Cary, for letting me be in action as long as I have so far. I appreciate every day that I'm there. It's a blessing. So thank you.
You're welcome. And you guys, Thomas, Spencer, Alex, you guys are really the reason why we do this thing. At the end of the day, you really are.
You could have a lot more fun doing lots of other things, couldn't you?
I could. I could sell a lot more things in rehab. Not dope, guys. Okay, but
Hello.
I mean,
That's where our minds go.
We saw that, but you know what? But that's exactly when you got to remember. That's where your minds go. But your minds won't go there soon. The longer you stay clean, the less your mind goes there. And you wake up and it doesn't even cross your mind. But if you leave and you start hanging out with the people that are doing that stuff, harder for you, Thomas, than anyone because of your age. Yeah. So, but if you leave and you go hang out with them, you'll be back doing the same thing quick. But if you make your mind up and be determined, I'm going to go to an outpatient, I'm going to go to meetings, I'm going to get a sponsor, I'm going to hang out with them people that's done this before and they're doing good. You're 17 years old, dude. You have no idea how good your life can be, or no idea how bad it can get. Juvenile Hall's Disneyland. Disneyland. So you have no idea how bad it can get. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. A lot worse.
So, but you guys really are. You're the reason why we do what we do, right? I mean, you guys, if you want to say anything, jump on in. But
no, just definitely. I mean, no matter how many come through, even if it's just that one that makes it through to the other side, that's completely worth every day of work.
Isn't it? Somebody say, how do you do this for 30-something years? And my answer was, how do I not? And what else can I do that makes you feel better at the end of the day? I'm going to leave here. I'm sick. I don't feel good. Trust me. I'm going home, getting right back into bed. But I sure do feel good right now, listening to you guys. It makes my day.
And you know, Cary, you're going to do absolutely everything that you can possibly do to keep them from becoming part of that 47,000
Lost lives. And I know you lost your ex-boyfriend. He did.
He's part of the numbers.
I'm sure you lost people.
I lost a friend. I lost a friend that got killed over drugs by his stepdad.
Overdosed by his stepdad. How old was your friend?
He was only like 19.
The stories never end. The party goes on and on. That's what happens. You know, it's funny. The stories, they're always the same. The names change. I've heard that story 100 times. When people get loaded, drugs and alcohol turns good people and makes good people do bad things. Turns good dreams into nightmares, and people into animals. So at the end of the day, we got to remember this: we have one life, and one bad mistake, one bad decision changes everything. Just like that in a second. You could be cruising around doing great and make one bad decision and your life's done.
Which is what I was talking about earlier when I said they're going to just do drugs one more time.
Or drive and kill somebody.
Yeah, let's not do that. Here
Or
we
lose
go.
it when you're high and kill somebody. I mean, there's so many things you can do that can change your whole world and everybody else is around you. So I don't know. I'm sure I'm proud of you guys. Anything you guys want to say? We got 1 minute left. Anything you want to say?
I want to say thank you, Cary, very much, because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even be able to be at rehab right now, and I wouldn't have got to spend the holidays with my family, and they're really happy and actually want me around. So thank you very much.
You're welcome, and I love you very much.
I love you very much.
And you know that I hug
Thank
you,
you.
but I'll hug you afterwards. and you know what? I know all of you a little bit, but I know you a lot. And if you continue to use, you will not be around. This is your last shot.
I just wanted to say one last thing, and that's I'm glad that I'm in this action rehab, and shout out to Visalia,
There you go.
because that's where I'm from.
There you go. There you go. Hey, wasn't that a good show? And by the way, our board op, isn't he great?
He is, you know, we're getting ready to come up on a new year here pretty soon, and we're going to be hanging with Justin.
So Justin, wave to the camera. I mean, we're always in here, but let's everybody see you. There you
your
go.
arm in there, yeah.
And it is New Year's. Hey, be safe out there, guys. And if you're one of those people that decide you just got to go out there and party, don't drive.
No.
If you know you're going to drink, don't bring your car. There's always Uber. Have a designated driver. Do something, but please be safe.
Yeah, we want you to be around for 2016
We
and
do.
beyond.
We do. And if you need help, 800-367-8336. 800-367-8336. Happy New Year's. Till next week, this is Families in Action on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. Bye-bye.